Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Aliza Kim and welcome to the third episode of Finding Him for Eidul-Adha. And first of all, of course, Eid Mubarak! Now, today we are going to be talking about the fifth pillar of Islam, which is Hajj. Now, you know, when we're learning about Islam, especially as an adult, we hear about this fifth pillar, right? We learn about Hajj, but it's like this fantasy land that we never get to go to. I've watched so many different lectures on it, but it's like, I haven't gone yet. It's so sad. But I hope that I can go. I don't know how many of you have gone, but mashallah, it must feel so wonderful to be there. I mean, I see these people going there and they just look like their iman is just going through the roof, skyrocketing, right? Okay, so as you know, Hajj is the fifth pillar of Islam. And we are obligated to go at least once a lifetime, but it's only obligated if you can go. That means you can afford it and also you can physically go. So the Muslims are actually called to Hajj 4,000 years ago by Prophet Ibrahim. Now, if you don't know much about Prophet Ibrahim, please go to episode 1 of this 3-part series where I explain to you who Prophet Ibrahim is. Now, why do we learn about Hajj every single year? You know, we have this Eid and Hajj is connected to Eid. What are some of the wisdom? Okay, one of them is that Prophet Ibrahim is someone that, you know, passed Allah's test with flying colors. He had tawakkul, he had sabr, he gave up the ultimate sacrifices. He was someone who was just, he put Allah before everything, including himself, his family, everything. And this is something that we also want to emulate and keep in mind. Okay, with that said, let's go with some of the rewards of Hajj. First one is once you have completed Hajj and your Hajj is accepted, that is an expiation of all your sins that came before it. So basically, you come out clean like a new baby. Number 2, du'as are accepted and you are given forgiveness. Of course, with forgiveness, that gets you a little bit closer to Jannah, and that's what we want, right? That's like the ultimate goal. Number 3, for women, when you go on Hajj, that is actually considered a jihad for you. Did you know that? That's pretty cool, right? And then, of course, the most important, from one umrah to another is expiation for what is between them. And Hajj mabrur, that means Hajj that has been accepted has no reward except paradise. So that means if your Hajj is accepted, you're in paradise, mashallah. Okay, so there are 3 types of Hajj: tamattu, ifrad, and qiran. Now, the one that we are going to be talking about is the one that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he actually recommended and also commanded upon the companions, and that is tamattu. And how you do that is actually you go for Umrah first, and then you come out of the Umrah, you come out of the Ihram, which is the sacred state. Then by the 8th of Dhul-Hijjah, which is the first day of Hajj, you put on the Ihram and go back into that sacred state. Okay, now, before I get into the fiqh, the rituals of Hajj, I have to tell you, this is not a class of Hajj, okay? Disclaimer, please don't just use my video for your Hajj. It's not gonna work. So just take this as a brief overview of what you can expect, and when it's time for you to go, please go take a proper class. Now, on the 8th of the Hijjah is when the first day of Hajj begins. Now, this is when you are going to put on your ihram and, you know, fulfill all the things that have to do with the ihram. The ihram is not only just a sacred state, but it's also the name of the garments that you wear. And I'm just going to explain to you the garments real quick. For men, it's 2 plain white unstitched cloths, and also for women, the way that you wear your ihram is actually you just wear your normal hijab. It has to be a proper hijab, full hijab, but you can't cover your hands and you can't cover your face. Okay? Entering into the sacred state of ihram actually takes a verbal niyyah. Okay? Usually your niyyah is not said out loud. Usually it's in your heart, right? But this one is the one that's different. You actually have to verbalize it. And what you actually say in translated meaning is, "Oh Allah, here I am responding to you in performing the Hajj." Now, once you say those words, you're in ihram and you're ready to start your Hajj. You are now supposed to offer Fajr, okay, in that morning, the 8th of Dhul-Hijjah. And the first thing that you're going to do is that you are going to leave for your first destination, which is Mina. Going there, you should reach around noon-ish. On the way, you are actually saying a talbiyah for Hajj. It means, "Oh my Lord, here I am at your service. Here I am. There is no partner with you. Here I am. Truly the praise and the provision are yours, and so is the dominion and sovereignty. There is no partner with you." Okay, so you're saying that the whole way to Mina. Once you reach Mina, you are going to stay there and also stay the night there in those tents, that are provided for you. Now, what do you do in Mina? You do ibadah there, okay? You do ibadah. You do your Quran, your dhikr, your dua, tawbah. You focus on worship. Keep doing your ibadah and get ready actually for the next day, which is the day of Arafah, which is a huge day. Arafah, they say, is actually Hajj. Arafah is Hajj, okay? So, say that you've already stayed the night in the tents. Now is the morning of the 9th of Dhul-Hijjah, day of Arafah. You have to complete this day properly because without the day of Arafah, your Hajj is not valid. So what you do is you set off from Mina for Arafah after Fajr. Once you arrive in Arafah, it's basically at the same time, around Dhuhr and Asr. You're actually going to pray those two shortened and combined. Why? It's because you want to keep the next 4 to 5 hours for really intense ibadah. This is it. This is the main act of worship during Hajj. Remember that Hajj is Arafah. What we have been told by the scholars is that the most important time is that half an hour to hour or an hour before Maghrib. Okay, this is the time where the dua is the most powerful. And a tip for you, write down the dua that you want to make. You think you're going to remember everything and then you get there, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm crying too much. I don't know what I'm doing. And then you just forget everything, right? Write down the du'as that you want for yourself, but also for your family, your friends. Put them down, Don't be stingy. Pray for other people as well. Pray for me as well. Okay, so for the day of Arafah, for people at home, don't forget that it's super important for you to be fasting on this day. Okay, fasting on the day of Arafah expiates the sins of the previous year and also for the year to come. So that's 2 years of sins wiped away. Okay, when you're doing your fasting, also make sure to make time before Maghrib, that 30 minutes to an hour before Maghrib, to start making your dua as well. Okay, for the people at home, you go with your own time zone. So whatever it is, the 30 minutes to an hour before your Maghrib, not their Maghrib, your Maghrib, you start making the dua. Okay, now at sunset, the day of Arafah is over, okay? And now you are going to be moving towards Muzdalifah. Okay, Muzdalifah is about 9 kilometers away and it's actually on the way back to Mina. This is where you're going to spend the night as well, and you're going to collect 7 pebbles. Okay, these 7 pebbles you're actually going to use in the rituals the following day. Okay, so let's talk about the next day, which is the 10th of Dhul-Hijjah, which we know as Eidul-Adha, but there they know it as Yawm al-Hajj al-Akbar, which is the big Hajj day. Okay, so on this day, there are a few main actions, right? Okay, we have the stoning of the largest column. Okay, there are 3 columns, but this is the stoning of the largest column only 7 times. So this is when you're using those pebbles that you just collected the night before, okay? After that, the men are to shave their hair. The women actually just cut a lock of hair. You give the animal sacrifice, and also this is when you go for making tawaf around the Kaaba 7 times. Okay, Muslims actually come out of most of the regulations for ihram at this time. After doing the tawaf and everything, this is also the time when you go and walk between Safa and Marwa 7 times as well. Okay, after walking between Safa and Marwa, you go back to your campsite in Mina. Now, back at your campsite in Mina, you are preparing for the 3 days of Tashriq. Remember that when Maghrib comes, okay, on the 10th day, you are also saying the takbir, the Eid takbir. So all this time you're saying the Eid takbir, the Eid takbir. Now also on the 3 days of Tashriq, you're still saying the Eid takbir, and you actually go back on each day at any time, but usually on the 3 days of Tashriq, it's not usually, it's actually is, you go back to the 3 columns and after Dhuhr, and you pelt each one of them with 7 pebbles each. Okay, so first you go to the small column, then the middle column, then the largest column in a row. Okay, you do that on all 3 days, all 3 columns. Got that? Okay, I don't want you to be confused. Some people leave on the second day of Tashriq, some people stay till the third day. But whichever one it is, the last thing that you have to do is actually go back to the Kaaba and make one more tawaf around the Kaaba, and that is the completion of your Hajj. Your Hajj is not complete without that farewell tawaf. Don't forget it. Now, I promised you that I would tell you why Hajj is a celebration of the life and family of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, right? Okay, I'm going to go over some of those now. First one, the call for Hajj. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail completed the construction of the Kaaba, Allah commanded him to call people to Hajj. Okay? Now, of course, Prophet Ibrahim looking around, he's like, there's no one here. How are people going to hear me? Allah actually reveals this verse to him. Oh Allah, how shall my voice reach all those people? So this is Prophet Ibrahim speaking, and Allah answers in translated meaning. Allah told him that his duty was only to give the call, and it was up to Allah to make it reach the people. So this call for Hajj 4,000 years ago is still reaching us today by the will of Allah. Okay, next one. The Jumarat. So this is the columns, the 3 columns. The 3 columns are actually believed to be the exact place where Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam took Ismail to be sacrificed. So the first place, the second place, the third place. Again, if you don't know, watch my first video on this series, okay? And the significance is, remember that Shaitan actually came to try to whisper to him and put doubts in him and stop him from doing the sacrifice. But Prophet Ibrahim took 7 pebbles, as we took 7 pebbles, or we take 7 pebbles, and he pelts Shaitan so that Shaitan runs away. Taking those pebbles and pelting Shaitan, or pelting those columns, is also a reminder for us to be taking out the Shaitan from within us and throwing it away with those pebbles as well. Whatever it is within us, maybe it's, I'm not going to be angry anymore. I'm not going to smoke anymore. I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. So with each pebble, you're taking out a Shaitan from within you and just throwing it away. Okay, that's also a way of thinking about pelting the Shaitan. Okay, number 3, Safa and Marwa. When we walk between Safa and Marwa 7 times, that is remembering the story of Hajar and how she also had to walk between Safa and Marwa. Okay, and from this we learn tawakkul. Okay, put tawakkul in Allah in everything that you want to do, you need to do. Don't be scared. He will take care of everything. Sacrifice, number 4, on Eidul-Adha, so the 10th of Dhul-Hijjah. This is when everyone is going to be giving the animal sacrifices. This particular sacrifice also commemorates the time when Prophet Ibrahim was to sacrifice Ismail. Okay, we are remembering the miracle of the ram here. We're also remembering the sacrifice. What sacrifices can we make for Allah to make our lives better, to become a better Muslim, to be a better Muslim for ourselves, for our family, and also for this world. Okay, 2 more. Tawaf. Short one, okay? In terms of the tawaf, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail were commanded by Allah to purify or sanctify the Kaaba for those who make tawaf around it. So pretty easy, right? You can see that it's a direct connection, And lastly, I want to talk about Zamzam. The spring of Zamzam, if you remember in episode 1, this is the spring that was given to Hajar and Ismail for their sustenance, okay? Now, this spring is still ongoing. It's like the water is ongoing. And we know from scripture that Zamzam is actually water from Jannah, right? So of course it's not going to end. It's not going to deplete at any time. When I go to Hajj, this is something that I'm really looking forward to see, actually. I hope that all of us get a chance to go for a Hajj, and all of us, get that invitation from Allah, and we become the guests of Allah to His house. May Allah allow you and I both to go to Hajj. May Allah accept our Hajj when we are there, so that we may be gathered in Jannah together as neighbors. So that was this episode on Eidul-Adha, particularly on the Hajj. And alhamdulillah, this is the last video also for this 3-part series on Eidul-Adha. I hope that you have enjoyed this mini-series. And with that, I bid you farewell. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye! Hey guys, I hope you liked this episode for Eidul-Adha. Now, if you want to watch the previous episode, you go here. For other awesome programs from DOPS, you go here. And if you have any questions and comments, be sure to post it down there and we'll be sure to get back to you, okay?